First off, I'd like to thank everyone who saw my last video. The response I got from that was a lot bigger than anything I had expected, even getting some comments and messages from some great guys on YouTube who have a lot of content on men's issues. It was an important topic that I wanted to talk about, and thank you for looking at the video. Anyways, so this video is a response to Clarey. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. I know nothing about this guy. All I know is that he has this video that encourages men to have relationships with women despite some of the messages and ideas he's been getting from what he calls the manosphere. So with this video, I wanted to try to debunk his argument on why men should pursue relationships with women. One of the points he makes is that a woman is the best thing that can happen to a man because men are genetically wired to be attracted to women. Well, most men, straight men. And to comment on that, evolution's goal is to procreate the species. It's not to make the individual happy. So an individual person could suffer as long as the species continues and thrives. For a quick visualization, this can be compared to the human sweet tooth. Let's say the little child loves cookies and eats a lot of cookies, and that makes the child happy. However, the child becomes very fat, and no one likes to associate with the child, and the child dies very early, which does not make the child happy in any way in the end. The next point he makes is that not all women are like that. Well, sort of. He says that he's dated over 300 women, and out of those, there were only 3 that he would consider serious marriage material. So he tells young men that there's less than a 1% chance that they'll find the right girl. So this especially is the pretty surprising part of the video, to acknowledge that there's less than a 1% chance that a man could find the right woman, and but encourage them to go after a woman is pretty surprising. Why even bother? Well, according to Mr. Clarey, it's the best thing that could ever happen to someone. So that's justification to drop everything you're doing, working at school, working to get some kind of degree, working at your job, and chase the right girl when she comes at you. That is surprising, that he would advise men to drop whatever they're doing for a woman. It makes you think, if this woman truly was the right one, wouldn't she recognize the other man's goals and step aside so that he could pursue them? Isn't that what true love and care is really about? Or if she requires him to give up everything for her, then is she really the right girl? I mean, these days we're looking at about 50% divorce rates. So to tell a man to go for a woman, give up everything for her, just so that there's half a chance that it won't work out, seems like a tremendous risk and waste of time, and ignoring the idea that finding the right woman is the best, most happiest thing that could happen to a man. Looking at the odds we've talked about, there's a much better risk of huge suffrage and sacrifice than actual happiness. And finally, his last point was that if a man says he won't get married, he's doing the exact same thing as the feminists. He claims that the feminists try to alter reality and then are miserable by the end of it, whereas men in what he calls the manosphere try to look at nature and reality as it is and live life accordingly. However, it seems that telling men to pursue relationships with women would not be following nature and acting accordingly. Well, it's following instinct and desire, but looking at the odds of finding a woman that would respect and love and care for the man properly, and the odds that it would work out, nature would suggest that men should possibly avoid female companionship in that way, because in the end it doesn't appear to be the healthy and, well, good decision.